Okay, so here we are. We're working on the bench restoration for the Hammond A105. So here it is outside, and we've got it set up so that we can get a pretty good look. This is actually a better angle so we can see the unevenness of the stain and the finish. What we're going to do first is lightly sand this so that those areas that are still shiny will open up some pores and allow the new coat of lacquer to soak in and blend with it. And we're going to end up doing 3 coats, but let's do the sanding first. Okay, so we're ready to go. First thing I'm going to do is I want to wipe it down. Because we've done so much work on this surface with so many different chemicals, it's probably got a lot of those chemicals in it, and so we want to try to get as much of that out as we can. So just giving it a nice wipe with some mineral spirits. That should lift any of the chemicals out. Okay, so the mineral spirits have dried, and now we're going to sand it. And we're not sanding it to take anything off. All we're doing is we want to sand it just to scuff it up so that the new product has open pores and things to adhere to. So we want to sand with the grain as much as possible. I am taking a first layer here and just using a sander's block or a pad that you can get at Home Depot or anywhere like that. So now we'll take superfine. This is 400 grit. See if we can smooth out some of those areas. Almost feels like we're not doing anything, but that's okay. Now the next step is we're just going to mask, and we're just using regular masking tape for paint. The blue tape is good because it doesn't stick the way masking tape sticks. This bench is nice because it's got a nice perfect lip here where I can mask this and just make sure it's stuck good. This one's pretty good too. Okay, so that's that. Now to cover the rest of this, since this opens, I think we're just going to use some newspaper and we'll just tuck it in there and let it fold down. One more wipe with the mineral spirits and we'll be ready to paint. So let's get some mineral spirits over here. And all I'm doing is putting the mineral spirits right on the rag. Of course you want to close the mineral spirits because they evaporate very quickly. And then just go ahead and give it a wipe. We don't want too much because we don't want it to run over onto the tape. A minimum of 3 very light thin coats. So we're going to go ahead and see. Now I do know when you spray you want to start at one end, let off at the other end. Start, let off. Don't start and let off in the middle or it's going to come out uneven. So we just put a coat on here. We'll go 2 times in each. So we'll let that blend. We'll let it dry. And there's the finished product. So after we did 4 thin coats of the spray lacquer, and then we let it dry, and we let it dry for about 3, well, I let it dry for 4 days, and then we sand it, and we sanded with 600 grit wet sanding with water, and then 1200 grit wet sanding with water, and then we polish. And the polishing was done with a standard furniture polish that's for high gloss finishes. So there we go. Good enough.